All right, so we're gonna do a little grocery haul at Walmart. The reason I'm doing this is I wanna prove that you can do clean keto on a budget. I see a lot of videos where people go into Walmart and they show you how to do a grocery haul. The problem is they're usually grabbing lower quality ingredients. So this isn't any particular plug for products or anything like that. It's simply showing that you can go into a budget grocery store and you can still eat clean. You can still get the right keto products that are gonna help you along your keto journey, but in a good anti-inflammatory way. So you're tuned into the internet's leading performance, nutrition, and fat loss channel. We got new videos Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific time, including vlog style videos like this where I show you the lifestyle robes. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, then go ahead and hit that bell icon. Okay, what the bell icon is going to do is going to turn on notifications. That way you know whenever I go live or post a new video. Also make sure you check out Fat Snacks down in the link below. So if you're looking for a little keto treat that's going to still keep you in that ketogenic realm, but maybe give you a little bit of fun with some cookies and stuff like that, go ahead and check them out. They're awesome and they're a good bang for the buck. All right, let's go ahead and head on into Walmart. It's never good to kill your own gut bacteria by using a lot of antibacterial stuff, but when it comes down to grocery carts, sometimes I just take my chances. All right, so this is not a super Walmart, so it doesn't have the most robust food department. However, I feel like it's actually even better because then I can show you what you can do with sort of the bare bones. Now, this is totally honest. I'm just gonna go through, I don't have a plan, I don't have this laid out in front of me. I'm gonna do some shopping and you're gonna see bits and pieces of what I might actually grab when I'm at Walmart. All right, just gonna go aisle for aisle. Obviously, you're gonna see a lot of people grabbing hot dogs, you see a lot of people grabbing things like that. Not even really meat. We're usually talking 30% meat. So let's go ahead and let's just disregard the hot dogs there. I don't see any, even these beef franks, they say beef, but when you actually look at the ingredients, we're looking like, okay, it does have beef, but then sodium lactate, hydrolyzed soy protein. So that's one of the things you wanna look for. Hydrolyzed soy protein, sometimes they even have hydrolyzed whey in there. That's just a filler. It's like if you go to fast food, it's usually gonna be 30–40% soy. So just be very careful of that. That's not to say that you might not find something that'll work for you, but generally speaking, you're not going to. All right, then we've got some pickles. Actually, I am gonna get some pickles. And the reason that I'm a fan of pickles is, of course, the sodium content. Perfect, super low calorie snacks and keep your mineral profile high. These particular ones, yeah, we're actually looking pretty good. There's one thing that I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of sodium benzoate, but it's not bad. Get the pickles that are in the refrigerated section because they have less in the way of the preservatives. And try to go for the kosher, they're a little bit cleaner salt. So, yay, we're off to a good start. We got salt. Okay, let's see what we've got in the way of deli meat here. You know what's cool is now the keto world is actually starting to get more of the little keto snacks. You know, you're gonna see.
Do me a favor, cut.
Yep.
Hi.
Hi. So much for that. Well, I can do the rest of selfie style, I guess.
Yeah.
So. And they're really cracking down on that.
Yeah, that was fast.
I can go selfie style the rest of the way. All right, so they asked us to turn off the camera, so it looks like I'm gonna do the rest of this somewhat selfie style. So here's the thing. I've got the turkey bacon here is cheap, and you would think it's clean, but it's really not. The problem with the turkey bacon is it's got a bunch of sugar and it's got a bunch of other stuff. So you look at the price of bacon, you're still looking like $5–6, but when you go down to the high quality, like the natural stuff with no preservatives, it ends up being about the same price. Like you're looking $5–6. So right now, even though it's Hormel, probably not the highest quality stuff, at least this stuff is pork, water, salt, a little bit of turbinado sugar, and seasoning. That's not bad. So for bacon, go with this route, okay? Don't go for the cheap stuff. You're only gonna save 20–30 cents. All right, let's move on to the next aisle. Okay, then we get into the cheese aisle. It gets a little bit more complicated with cheese, simply because most of the cheeses that you're gonna find at a budget store aren't gonna be super high quality. I did a video talking about cheeses, which ones are the best. Parmesan, you're usually pretty safe. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of Parmesan. Just go with some shaved Parmesan, simply because at least with Parmesan, it's aged for so long. It's all about, I don't want to say it's the same, but it's aged for like 12 months. So you end up with the same sort of lactose content. Of course, you want to go organic, you want to go raw whenever possible with a lot of these things, but Parmesan usually isn't even pasteurized. So that's going to be a cheese that you're pretty safe to get. I'm looking for just a couple bucks there, all right? All right, then of course they do have some almond milks and stuff. And the good news is a lot of the almond milk, a lot of those things are now made without carrageenan, okay? So the cool thing is they even have macadamia nut milk. So we've got unsweetened macadamia milk. Let's see, look at the ingredients here. Macadamia milk, macadamia oil, calcium phosphate, not the best. They fill it with a little bit of pea protein, sunflower lecithin. Really not bad. There's no carrageenan. It's not a big deal to have sunflower lecithin, okay? So we're looking, it's like $4, so really not that bad. Compare that to even almond milk, you're still looking $3.48, $2.97. I mean, so you're looking $1 more expensive, but you're gonna actually get stuff that doesn't have carrageenan. So sure, you're gonna pay a little bit more money, but it's not too bad. Another one that you can also get is going to be the Khalifa Farms. Okay, so Khalifa Farms is nice. You always wanna get the unsweetened version. Okay, so we've got unsweetened almond milk. Okay, this one's $3.48. Okay, really not too bad of a price. Let's see, ingredients. Almond milk, calcium carbonate, sunflower lecithin, sea salt, potassium citrate. I'd be okay with this one. So I'm actually gonna get this one instead of the Milkadamia because I don't know if all Walmarts are gonna have the macadamia nut milk, and I'm familiar with this one. Okay, so we're still looking pretty good budget, although we haven't gotten to the bulk of what we need. All right, then we get into Greek yogurt. Okay, here's the thing with Greek yogurt is sometimes you're gonna end up getting ones that have a bunch of fillers in them, and it's Walmart, so we're probably not looking a lot of super good quality ones, but when it comes down to Greek yogurt, you know, at least you've got Faya. It doesn't have a whole lot of stuff in it. If they have Bulgarian yogurt anywhere, that's gonna be the best one. Some Walmarts do. So again, Faya 0. I would usually go for Faya 2%. Don't go for the Faya whole. Just a little bit too much in the way of milk fat, which can be a little hard to digest. So Faya inexpensive. This big thing is $5 here in California. This should last me, you know, a good few days of eating. I might get 2, but I think just today, for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna get 1. So we got Greek yogurt. I know a dairy product, but at the end of the day, it's not a huge deal. And then while we're still here with the dairy, let's go ahead and look at some of this cream cheese and stuff. Cream cheese selection, not super good, all right? Not the biggest fan of cream cheese, generally just because it's pretty low quality. But I still, if I'm gonna go for cream cheese, I'm gonna go for one that's a little bit leaner. I don't wanna get all my calories from a little bit of cheese. Like the Neufchâtel cheese, the third less fat, it tastes about the same, and I end up not having to deal with, I don't know, blowing all of my calories on that. And I just feel like then I have a little bit more flexibility when it comes down to adding more fats. If I want to add more nuts to a meal, if I want to add some almond butter, I'm not just blowing it all just with my cream cheese. All right, and then we get into sour cream. So I'm not opposed to sour cream as long as you're getting good quality stuff, right? Hard part is you're not going to get super organic, good quality cottage cheese or sour cream. But if it's what you want, I'm not gonna pick some up today. Don't be too concerned. Here's the thing, all sour cream is pretty much just cultured cream. You're not getting a whole lot of other stuff. Sometimes you'll get some other ingredients that are in there. The reality is it's pretty much the same stuff through and through. It all just comes down to the quality of milk. So you can do this. And then with cottage cheese, this is where it's difficult. So let's look at cottage cheese for a second. Here's what you're gonna find. Any kind of brand of cottage cheese, let's see. Okay, we've got cultured non-fat milk, milk cream, 2% non-fat milk, whey, salt, maltodextrin. Ooh, avoid that maltodextrin. Guar gum, not a fan of guar gum. This one doesn't have carrageenan, which is nice. Normally we'll see that. Let's look at Knudsen for a second. Cultured non-fat milk, milk and cream, whey. Okay, xanthan gum. This one's actually not that bad. So actually maybe I will get that. I think I'm gonna get some of the Knudsen cottage cheese. Okay, so again, loading up with some dairy here, which is not my normal jam, but it'll work. All right. Then, of course, we've got butter. Big fan of butter. I don't think I'm going to find ghee here. So we've got Kerrygold. Just need one of these for the week. This is going to be solid. We're looking at $2.88 here for a stick of butter. I'm probably sitting about $25 right now with everything that I've got. So I've got a lot of the good sources of fat that I already need. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here at the eggs. All right, so when it comes down to eggs, cage-free doesn't always mean that they're good, clean quality. Okay, cage-free could mean a lot of different things. Cage-free just means that they're put out in a open space. It's technically not a cage. So what can happen with that is you end up with just a bunch of garbage. You still end up with the same thing, bunch of grain-fed, bunch of corn-fed, soy-fed. So I don't see any pasture-raised eggs or anything like that. So that means if I'm on a budget, eggs aren't going to be a huge staple in my diet because I am going to get some of the cage-free ones, organic, but I don't want to get just anything and I don't want to live on these. So I'm just going to get 1 dozen of these. These are about $3.75. Okay, so So eggs are gonna be a smaller part of my diet when I'm on a budget, simply because it's harder for me to get quality, all right? Okay, let's go ahead and head into the next aisle. All right, this time, I'm in the frozen aisle, frozen meat, okay? People think that frozen meat is all bad. Always fresh whenever possible, but here's what's really cool. Look at, for $6, I can get Jenny O, which is not the best brand in the world, antibiotic-free turkey burgers. Okay, I've got 6 1/3 pound burgers. So I've got a total of 2 pounds of meat here for basically $6, but it's already in patty form. Point in saying this is that the frozen stuff is not bad. It really isn't. This particular ingredient, brand, turkey, salt, and rosemary extract. That's all we've got in it. So literally 3 ingredients, not bad for being out of the frozen section. So I'm gonna grab some of this. I don't like frozen beef because hardly ever do you find good grass-fed frozen beef. Turkey, you're still gonna get some of that soy, you're still gonna get some of that grain, not the best thing, but it at least shows you what you can get, okay? Let's go ahead and head on back down this frozen aisle. All right, what about fruit on a keto diet? Okay, I've done videos talking about the best fruits that you can have on a keto diet. Best ones you can have are gonna be strawberries. Have like 1 or 2. You don't need to have a lot of them. I'm not gonna get them frozen because honestly, by the time you thaw them out, they just don't taste very good. But I was just gonna say, if you are into that, $2 for a bag of frozen strawberries. Like, that's really not bad at all, and that's gonna last you a couple of weeks on keto. All right, heading on deck down. All right, their veggie section here is really tight, really small. So not a whole lot I can even pick, but frozen veggies, again, get a bad rap. Here's the thing, a lot of times frozen veggies have more nutrients than the fresh, simply because you don't have the oxidation that occurs. They're flash frozen right after they're picked. So if I pick broccoli, for instance, it's gonna be flash frozen right there on the spot. That ends up working out really, really well. You actually preserve a lot of nutrients. By the time it travels down the road and everything like that, it oxidizes and loses a lot of the nutrients. So let's go ahead and check this out really quick. Okay, they've got the whole steamable in bag thing. Again, we're on a budget here, right? It's not always the best case scenario. So in this case, I can get some steamable broccoli. I'm gonna grab a couple of those. You don't have to steam them in bag. I don't recommend that. Usually they're BPA free, so you're not gonna have a bunch of the total garbage in there. But let me just go ahead and get 3 of those because veggies are gonna be critical for me. Also, broccoli, super high diindole methane. So what that means is it's got an anti-estrogen component. Really, really good, especially if you're gonna be consuming some of these products that are fed with soy. So if you're gonna be consuming meats that are soy-fed meats, okay, you're gonna wanna do what you can to fight the aromatization, fight the estrogen buildup. So that's why I'm a big fan of the broccoli there. So if we go with some of these other ones, we don't really get that. Obviously, we don't wanna have the corn, we don't wanna have peas, super sweet, we don't really want that on keto. Broccoli cuts, guess what? You guys still get most of the mineral profile and the vitamin profile, even out of the broccoli cuts. And we're looking at like 84 cents versus, sorry about that, 84 cents versus $1.50, almost half the price. So I'm gonna get a couple of these just so that I can bulk up some of my meals. Maybe I'll do some stir fry, things like that. Just some simple keto budget stuff. All right. Liquor aisle, definitely don't need that. Let's go ahead and go down the next aisle. All right, I'm in the drink aisle now. I'll make a quick honorable mention. These are a little expensive for keto on a budget, $5 a piece. In fact, I think they're literally cheaper at Whole Foods, but like the cold brew, bulletproof stuff. So if you're on the go, these aren't bad. Problem is a lot of erythritol, which I don't dislike, but first thing in the morning, a bunch of erythritol might give you a little bit of a bellyache. But I thought that was kind of interesting that Walmart has this. My point in mentioning this is Walmart's making some big moves, okay? They're actually really trying to get a lot of keto stuff. They're trying to get more healthy stuff in general, which is just nice to see. So that's an honorable mention, not gonna grab them here today. Diet sodas, all this stuff, honestly, just live without it. I don't think you need it. You can get some of those flavor water enhancers, it might be a better bet, but just disregard the diet sodas. You can get by without it, save the money, even though they're a couple bucks. All right, in the next aisle, where I've got a little bit of more of the drinks and the snacks and things like that, let's see, right now I'm looking, just so you can see, I'm looking at like those energy drinks and the flavored waters and flavored drinks. I'm gonna flip the camera around so you can see a little bit more. I actually did a video on these before. This is not a necessary expense, but the nice thing about them is it does get you to drink a little bit more water. The issue, a lot of these will break a fast. So if you're fasting, be careful. Let's see, this has got water, citric acid, sodium citrate, sucralose. Okay, not the greatest, but it's not bad. Yeah, you know what? To be completely honest, I'm gonna keep this on a budget. I'm gonna go without that. I can always just squeeze some lemons in. I'll be good. All right, snack aisle. Pork rinds, really not that bad. Okay, here's the thing with pork rinds. What we have to be careful of is toxins are stored in the fat. So when pigs are eating a whole lot of soy and grain and stuff like that, it's going to come through in the fats a lot more. And pork skin, obviously, high fat, high skin. So you just got to be careful. I would recommend, well, the selection here is pretty slim. Fried pork skins, salt. I mean, at least there's no added dextrin or anything like that. If you look at like the barbecue flavor, wow, this is where we get wild. Okay, pork skins, salt, sugar, spices, yeast, monosodium glutamate, tomato powder, maltodextrin, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika. Okay, so if you're gonna be doing pork rinds on a budget, you're gonna wanna go for the original flavor, because where things get messy is with the spices and things like that they're putting in it. So the maltodextrin alone and the MSG, the monosodium glutamate, creates a glutamate cycle within the brain. That glutamate GABA tilt is what we have to be careful of. Glutamate is going to make you crave things a lot more. So this is just pork skins and salt. Good old fashioned max. Okay, we're looking just a couple bucks, so $1.78. So those get the win. All right, time for the nut section here. This is where people can get a little bit mixed up. Okay, so I'm taking a look here and I see a lot of almonds, lots and lots and lots of almonds. The hard part is almonds, they add up in carbs, right? So when you start actually counting it up, if you're gonna spend $3.50 on something that's gonna push your carb content over the max quite easily, you might be better off spending a little bit more money and going for something like the walnuts or going for something like the macadamia. Oh, actually, check this out. Okay, walnuts, $3.24. I know you can't really see this, but walnuts, $3.24 for 7.25 ounces versus almonds for 6 ounces, $3.44. So actually walnuts, super high omega-3, good quality nut. I'm gonna get these instead of the almonds. Why get the almonds if I don't need them? Honestly, the walnuts are gonna be great. So let's go ahead and go with that. Stay away from the mixed nuts, honestly. Too much of a wide variety of different omegas in there. Just, again, trying to keep this simple for you. Okay, well, what do you need? So we can get the macadamia nuts, but the hard part with the macadamia nuts, they're so dang expensive. We got 4.5 ounces for $5.62. I don't know, just trying to look out for you guys here. So I think I'm just gonna stick with the walnuts. I'm probably not gonna go through a jug of walnuts in a week. I'm trying to do like a week grocery haul here. So let's just leave it at that. Actually, while we're right here, we've got some of the beef jerkies. Let's see. So we got all the beef jerkies here. I'm gonna flip the camera around real quick. All right, not the best quality here. Might just end up 86 in this altogether. I don't need just these snacks. I'd rather go get some Whole Foods here. See, it's all like the Jack Link stuff, and you know, they're making an effort, but so much just garbage in them. Let's see what's in this. Beef, water, sugar, beef stock, artificial colors, yeast, extract, not that bad actually, but I don't like the sugar in there. It's not necessary. I'm gonna skip out on that. Save myself $8. Snacks, sugar, all kinds of stuff that's just not gonna fly on this aisle. Unfortunately, we can 86 this one. Hey, here's some non-refrigerated pickles. Remember what I talked about before? Okay, we got cucumbers, water, distilled vinegar, salt, sodium chloride, polysorbate 80. All these added colors, big difference when they're not the refrigerated pickles, huh? Okay, we got some sugar-free sauces here. Sugar-free barbecue, sugar-free honey mustard. This looks cool. Let's see what's in it. Okay, we got water, brown mustard, salt, spices, turmeric, canola oil. Kind of want to stay away from that. Sucralose, it's not necessary. I don't need it. I would say if you're looking to do keto and you're not worried about the artificial sweeteners, you're not worried about the canola oil, excuse me, this really isn't bad. That's not a bad price, because you could make a couple meals with that and really just sweeten or season everything up and really not have much of an issue. So it's a good one. Let's keep it in the mix, but I'm not gonna get it today just to keep costs down. Frank's Red Hot, that's actually some good stuff when it comes down to just seasoning things. Let's see, we got cayenne pepper, distilled vinegar, salt, and garlic powder. $2.68. I'm gonna get some of that. That's not a bad, actually, you know what, better yet, I'm a Tabasco fan. $1.56. Get some Tabasco, totally keto friendly. Tartar sauce usually is good to go, but a lot of times we're gonna have soybean oil. No, let's keep that out of the equation. We don't want that. Hey, look it, who would have thought? Tartar sauce is great with fish. Okay, this is cool. Primal Kitchen. This is Mark Sisson's stuff. This is actually good stuff. Organic sugar-free steak sauce and no soy teriyaki. So sugar-free, what's he got in it? Hey, that's awesome. Okay, see, these are the things. I'm not gonna get that today, but this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. We've got Walmart making strides to put healthy stuff in their stores. That actually makes me really, really happy. I don't think I need to spend a lot of money on sauces today. I'm just gonna keep this simple. Well, here's a quick hack. Okay, remember how I grabbed these walnuts and they were $3.50 or $3.24 for 7.25 ounces? Let's get them in bulk. I'm gonna put these back. Let's get them in the cooking section. And let's go ahead, I can get some walnut halves and pieces. I can get 16 ounces, a pound of them, for $7.34. So save a little bit of money that way. Actually, I think I will do that. So let's go and do that. I'll put the other walnuts back. Okay, so there's two things here that I want. We've got coconut milk, which is good to see. Taste of Thai. I know this one has, okay, this one. We've got coconut water, guar gum. Still has guar gum as a stabilizer, which isn't the end of the world. I see another one down here. What's this one? Let's see. Also coconut milk. This is thick coconut milk, so it can kind of use as coconut cream. Let's see what this has got. Coconut milk, water, guar gum. Okay, so now it just comes down to a cost game. Canned coconut is not the cheapest thing. This is $1.98, but this I can add to a shake. I can add anything. One can should go a whole week. We've got 130 calories times 5. If you do 100 calories of this per day, you're gonna be good for a week, right? Okay, then there's one other thing that I have to get here. This is kind of almost my signature, right? I always get unsweetened baking chocolate. And what I do is I melt it down and I go ahead and I add stevia to it. And then I make a chocolate treat. But this stuff is pure 100% dark chocolate, okay, totally unsweetened. So I recommend that you grab this stuff, get it in the baking section. Looking around here, yeah, okay, this will be solid. So it's a couple bucks for that, $1.97. Again, you end up death by 1,000 cuts in terms of the money here when you start getting these little things, but whatever, it's worth it. And a lot of the stuff will trickle over into 2 weeks. All right, now we got the coconut oil. So organic coconut oil. I'm just gonna get a medium-sized one. Okay, so look at 54.2 cents per ounce, 32.27. I don't need a giant one. I'm gonna get this 32 cent per ounce one. This is a great one. It's just good quality stuff. And the nice thing is good to see Walmart actually getting good, healthy things in there for people. So we've got just organic coconut oil, 32 cents, perfect.
Do I need to ask you to leave, sir?
Pretty darn sure the law says you can use your phone, but it's a bummer because it's all really positive stuff. Well, we got asked to turn off the cameras once, so we switched to cell phone. We weren't doing anything wrong, we just switched to cell phone. And then we got asked to not film with our cell phone either. I politely explained to the woman that I was doing everything in a positive way, but they still won't have that. So they said that even filming with a cell phone was not allowed. Now, I'm not a legal expert, but I can pretty sure that I'm allowed to film with my phone, especially selfie style. Anyhow, we ended up doing the rest of the shopping not being filmed at all. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you back to the studio. I'm gonna show you the receipt. We got out of here for $104. My goal was 100 bucks. So I feel like we did pretty good. You can see, got a good amount of stuff. And I'm gonna lay it all out for you when I get back to the studio and show you what we got. You can tell I'm a little disappointed. I don't know why I still went through with the purchase, which realistically probably shouldn't have supported it at that rate. But, honestly, I'm a solid Walmart patron, I guess. All right, let's go back to the studio. So pretty disappointed that got asked to, well, I didn't get asked to leave, but asked to stop filming 2 times, once with the camera and once with the phone. Disappointing, but I just wanted to kind of go on record and say, I understand why they do that. I'm sure there's a lot of people that ruin it for everybody that go in there and just completely blast the store and do things in bad nature and bad taste. So I understand they have to kind of treat everyone the same. But I think more so it's about protecting their customers. They don't want their customers to feel like it's a kind of an unhappy or unhealthy experience for them. Customers don't always want to be on camera. I know that when I go into the grocery store, I don't always want to be on camera. So I think they're just doing it out of courtesy to their customers. But it's really frustrating that there's no real delineation between like someone that's going in there running amok and being a pain in the arse versus someone that's actually going there and doing something constructive. If they had realized the amount of visibility that this channel gets, they'd realize that this was all positive and actually was going to bring them a lot of traffic. And I threw them some serious bones when it came down to what they're bringing into the store and how they're starting to bring healthier products in. They're clearly making a push that direction. I think they're just a little bit behind in the times. You look at companies that are working with influencers and companies that are working with people that are heavily front-facing. They're embracing that. They're embracing, for lack of a better way of saying it, the influencer lifestyle, the influencer model, and they realize that if they actually develop good relationships with these influencers, that it can bring a lot of traffic. But evidently, some companies still live in the past where they don't want to be a part of that. And Walmart doesn't need it. They don't need me. They don't need Thomas DeLauer. They're not, they're going to have traffic no matter what. So I get it, but it's still frustrating nonetheless. So when we get back to the studio, I'll show you the receipt. I'll show you all the individual foods that I got. And full disclaimer, we ended up getting rushed a little bit out of there. So I probably didn't get to grab everything I would have liked to grab, but I think I got the basic essentials for you to survive on a keto diet. Really probably for a family of 2 for about $100 and really do it quite well. So excited to get back to the studio and lay it all out. All right, pretty much $100, $104. Goal was to keep it under $100, but still pretty darn close. Probably could have done without the green tea. All right, I'm gonna go through. So as you saw, I got kicked out, or at least asked to turn off the cameras, which I understand. So let me go ahead and break down some of the stuff that I got. Some of the stuff you saw already in the store, but then I went around and I grabbed a few other things when we had to turn the cameras off and figured I'd just recap here where it was easier. So I'm gonna start from this side and work my way over. All right, so we had the pork rinds. Remember I talked about those at the grocery store. So these are the clean ones. No spices, get the original. This way you just have pork skins and salt. That's all there is to it, right? So super simple there. Here's the cool thing. The Walmart that I was at was not a Walmart Supercenter. It was not a Walmart Market. It was a good old-fashioned Walmart like you might find in the middle of nowhere, right? It's a very simple Walmart, so a very limited grocery section. So it didn't even have a fresh meat department. So I had to go with like frozen meat. So this was a really good example of how you can still do keto clean. They did not have organic chicken, but I understand you still need some meat, you still need to feed a family. So I got the all natural stuff, a little bit better. Okay, supposed to be pasture raised, but I'm sure just given where I got it, it probably has some soy and some grains in it. So not a huge deal. Okay, we'll deal with it, even if it's just short term. The Kerrygold I talked about, grass-fed, grass-finished butter, okay? That's gonna make a big difference in terms of what you put in your coffee and what you cook with. So I recommend, you can cook with this stuff a little bit, you can just add it as additional fats to your broccoli, we're gonna talk about in a second. You got it. Okay, then we have the cream cheese. Remember, not the highest quality stuff, but go for the third less fat. Don't blow it all just with your cream cheese, okay? Then we've got sardines, okay? Sardines are cool. Got sardines in water. This is a big one. You want to get your sardines in water. Sardines have one of the most perfect omega-3 profiles and perfect fat to protein ratios on keto. These were like $1 something. Let's see, they were, they were like $1.27, okay? So really inexpensive. And one of these is a perfect meal. Like one of these is, it doesn't say exactly how many calories, but I think they're like 200 calories for one of these. So anyway, perfect. You could live off of these. Get them in water, don't get them in olive oil or harissa or anything like that. Just get it clean with water. You can add your fats if you need to. Okay, almond butter. So I splurged on the almond butter. I got the more expensive almond butter. Okay, this was still like $6 almond butter. Why? Because almond butter is very, very important to get a high quality one. You don't want to be getting low quality almond butter. You're just going to end up with a lot of phytates. The Maranatha brand, I know that Walmart carries it. No sugar or salt added. Super good stuff. Be very careful with almond butters. You want to look and make sure there's no sugar added. So that was probably one of the most expensive gram for gram things that I got. Then I got Tabasco. Wanted to flavor some stuff up. Perfect to flavor my eggs. Got the baking chocolate. Remember, that's my thing, right? That's my go-to. That's my staple. I love unsweetened dark chocolate, and I sweeten it up myself with stevia. Okay, so I'll melt it down and I'll add stevia. Walmart, you're gonna have a hard time finding liquid stevia. So I did have to get stevia in the raw, which does have some dextrose in it. So you just want to be careful. You don't want to have more than a few packets of this because it could knock you out of keto. So just a couple packets, you can do that. And again, sweeten your coffee, whatever you need to do, all right? You remember when we were in the store, I got my carrageenan-free almond milk. So this one I got straight up almond milk. They did have some other options, but make sure you don't get the sweetened one. Then I grabbed some decaf green tea. I'm a huge fan of green tea, and I'm a huge fan of going decaf green tea because you still get the EGCG and you still get the polyphenols. You still get a lot of the positive effect, but you don't get the caffeine later on in the day. So it's perfect for the afternoon where you still want those catechins, but you don't want the caffeine. Then why did I get no salt added tomato sauce? Well, simply because when we're bare bones cooking and we're cooking up meat, we're cooking up turkey burgers, anything like that, you could make some kind of bolognese, you could make some kind of pasta dish along with this, and where'd it go? Oh, the Parmesan cheese. So remember why I got Parmesan cheese? Because it's a lower lactose content, aged usually for at least 12 years. higher quality cheese than a lot of stuff you'd normally find at just a bargain grocery store. So melt some of this down in the tomato sauce. You've got a sauce that can go on anything without having to even go spend a bunch of money on various seasonings. It's pretty awesome. It makes it simple. You guys remember my little snack, the pickles from the refrigerated section, very important. Then you do what you can with the eggs, okay? You do what you can. These are cage-free. I'm sure they're not pasture-raised eggs. I'm sure they're not super, super high quality. But considering it's Walmart, I'm happy to see that they had organic cage-free. At least the soy the chickens were potentially fed was at least organic soy. Then we have the coconut oil. I went for the unrefined. Honestly, I like the full rich flavor. It doesn't really matter. Just try to go for an organic one if you can. This was like, let's see, how much was this? I think it was like $6 or $7 for this big thing. Yeah, it was like 6 something. And this is gonna last me a long time. This is gonna last me a month. So even though this is a weekly haul, some of the stuff's gonna last me a lot longer. Then I got the Greek yogurt. Okay, this is a perfect thing to eat like for lunch, keeping their fats a little bit lower, just have a little bit of protein coming in. Greek yogurt, at least you get the probiotic effect. Not the highest quality protein in the world like you would get from like a high quality meat or something, but at least you get your protein in. Then, of course, we have the coconut milk. Okay, this is thick coconut milk. The whole trick that you want to do is when you grab a coconut milk from the grocery store shelf, you want to be able to shake it and really ideally not hear it at room temperature. You don't want to hear it when you shake it because that means it's more saturated. That's what you want. Because otherwise you're going to have to put it in the fridge and get it to saturate a bit more. This is perfect to scoop into your coffee. So you notice I didn't buy any coffee creamer. I'm on a budget here. I didn't want to spend $5 on coffee creamer. And I'm not using half and half because half and half is usually very low quality. So take a scoop of this and put it in your coffee with a little bit of stevia and you're done. I mean, you've got budget clean keto right there. Okay, then we talk about the cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is risky, okay, because cottage cheese is high in casein proteins. So if you're getting low quality dairy, the protein and the casein in the cottage cheese is gonna have a potentially larger negative effect than like another form of dairy because it is pretty much pure casein, which again, isn't always bad. So this is what was available at Walmart. Now, I recommend if you're going for a cottage cheese, there's a brand called Good Culture out there, and you know I'm good friends with them. They're awesome. That's a better cottage cheese. Of course, you can't get cottage cheese online, but if you have Good Culture at your grocery store, might be a good one. Okay, then I have tuna. Now, some of you are probably thinking, Thomas, you've lost your mind. You're the healthy guy, and you're talking about tuna, super high in mercury, right? Not something you want to eat all the time, but the nice thing about chunk light tuna is actually lower in mercury than you think. It's the albacore that we really have to worry about. So the chunk light is the way to go, even though the albacore tastes better and is more expensive and leads you to believe that it's higher quality. Chunk light is, believe it or not, higher quality. It's just more common, so it's cheaper. So these were like 60 cents. Now, again, not something I necessarily want to live on, but at least it is wild caught. That helps a lot. Okay, then we got a ton of my broccoli, right? Now I talked about kind of getting the broccoli cuts and you still get a lot of the dim. The florets, I get some of them so that I have some of the florets, but then for the bulk of my fiber and just my roughage and my diindole methane and indole-3 carbonyl effect that I want for the anti-estrogen, I can just go with the cuts. I still get the fiber, I still get the greens on a budget. They didn't even have a produce section there. They had potatoes and onions, okay? So this is what I'm working with no produce department. Then I've got my walnuts. When I'm limited with the kind of nuts that I can get, the macadamia nuts there would have blown my budget. $5 for a small container, $12 for a moderate size one, whereas this was like $7 for walnuts that are gonna last me a few weeks. Plus, the nice thing about this budget keto shopping is it forces you to not lean on these, like lean on nuts for your calories. We don't wanna do that. You don't want a bunch of nuts in your diet. It's a little hard on the digestive system, high phytates, we just gotta be careful with that. Okay, then we have the bacon. I was really surprised that they actually had a no preservative, really good healthy bacon. That's a shock. This is really pretty good stuff. We have pork, water, salt. It does have some turbinado sugar, but then even the seasoning is just celery juice powder and sea salt. So no carbs showing up in 2 slices. It's that negligible amount of turbinado sugar. Not the greatest thing, but bacon, I mean, at least you're gonna get your fats in. You could wrap the chicken in bacon, throw it in the oven, okay? You could dust the chicken in some pork rinds, then wrap it in bacon. You've got nice, decent dishes here. Then normally I'd be a fan of Redmond real salt, which a lot of stores have now, but the next best thing is gonna be pink Himalayan salt. So at least got that. That was like $1.97, and this is gonna last me a month, if not more. Then lastly, I got these turkey burgers. Now, one thing I probably would have done different is I probably would have 86 something. I probably would have maybe gotten rid of the bacon and maybe gotten 2 of these if I was feeding a larger family. I was really surprised, and I said this in the store, but we had turkey, salt, and rosemary extract. That's it. No preservatives, and it's in the frozen section. So these aren't fully cooked. You do have to actually cook them. But again, like you've got decent quality there. So rock and roll with that. So again, I would have just probably gotten 2 of those and I would have had a nice balance here. It maybe wouldn't have been the perfect healthy keto meal, but at least I have the goods to at least get by in a clean fashion. So I think we're rocking and rolling here still for roughly $100. So you can do it at Walmart. You can do it on a budget. And I apologize if I offended anybody at Walmart, but I promise it was all in good taste and actually spreading a positive word that you can shop healthy even on a budget. As always, keep it locked in here on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.